I thought it was really funny, but one time his younger brother was getting up to share, and the person next to him in the podium was lowering, and then all of a sudden goes, "Ow, my hands!" And we're like,
can't keep quiet when you start a riot.
I don't even know. It was story time.
What happened?
Instead of just saying like the lyrics, she started like singing it. And
I was not here for that.
I recorded some of it because it was going on.
You recorded her?
Not video.
All of the scriptural references used in this episode will be brought to you by scripturenotes.com. For a free trial to Scripture Notes, please visit the link in the description.
Share the cringiest testimonies you've heard during testimony meeting.
Kate, go first. Kate and I have a trauma bonding experience.
Are we recording?
Oh no, is this going to be bad? I thought we were going to be done in ordering pizza, but now all of a sudden this came up. And
it's more of like a... It's
It was quite the testimony, I might say.
It wasn't even a testimony. It was like she took it as like, I don't even know.
It was story time.
Yeah, it wasn't even a story. Like she just kept...
Okay, well, what happened?
Do I know
what happened, dude? I gotta know.
So at girls' camp,
last 2 years ago, because it was
this year.
What? Oh, it was
most
this year.
recent one. This girl went up to share a testimony, and there's a bunch of girls who wanted to share, so like they all had to be quick. But she just kept going and kept going, just talking about
like her mom. So she was like,
because she's like so a cop, and she's like, this job is like so dangerous for women these days, and just
she wasn't even like a cop.
And she said she was like from like she's working like Egypt or something
she
like
was,
that, and she's like, yeah, if you don't know where that is, that's in Europe.
Okay. And me and Kate looked at each other. We were like, okay. No, it was. She just kept like her mom was like a secret agent type. I don't think she was supposed to be sharing this information with us, by the way. But she was like, I just love my mom so much, and as a woman in the field she's in, it's so dangerous, especially because she's a woman, and being in that job is so dangerous for a woman, and you know. The job is just so dangerous, and I get worried about her because she's a woman and a job that's dangerous for a woman.
Yeah, that's like
and
all
I was
she
like,
talked about.
I was like this. I was like,
progress.
there was nothing about Jesus, the experience she had at the camp, the doctorate. There was nothing spiritual about her testimony at all.
So that was the worst one?
That was, I think, the worst.
Yeah, she
I've
took like
experienced.
so long. The stake president had to come up and tell her to like end it.
Yeah, he was
okay,
like,
well, that's not so bad. Okay, that's doable.
I don't know about you guys. I don't know if any of you were here for this. I mean, I know Kate was. But it was one time, I don't remember if it was during her talk or during the testimony, but like, you know how some people use like the verses of a hymn to like, you know, get their message out, like, you know, kind of further, whatever, I don't know. So this woman in our ward, she started like, instead of just saying like the lyrics, she started like singing it, and she doesn't have like the greatest voice either, and so it was just kind of like this awkward like 2 minutes of just her like singing without music, and it wasn't even like good singing either. It was bad.
When was this?
Were you here for that?
This was like probably like 6 months ago.
I do not remember.
Oh, I was not here for that.
I recorded some of it because it was going on.
You recorded her?
Like not video. It was a voice.
Are you
recording.
rubbing your abs again,
I
bro?
didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I love. So, okay, I know we're not supposed to record in the chapel, but this one time I went to a funeral for like my mom. In a funeral? No, it's not. So my mom's like bishop. He was like her bishop, her principal, her seminary teacher, her continuation school teacher. I was like, Mom, you must have like, this guy must have been your father at this point. Like, this guy was so many things in her life. He was like, I don't even know. And so he like passed away, and we went to his funeral, and his grandson, who is married to the Come Unto Jesus music video girl, the girl who sings the song Come Unto Jesus, like in the music video, where the guy's under the car and then they're helping him.
We love that video.
Guys under the car?
Like, it's the Come Unto, she's like, Come Unto Jesus, and she's blonde. He's married to her, and he got up and sang and it was the most majestic thing I've ever witnessed.
Really?
He was playing a Josh Groban song and singing, and it was beautiful. I was like, oh my, and he was cute too, but like, he was married to the Come Unto Jesus girl. Her name's like Madison something,
Madeline Page?
Yes, he's married to her.
Okay.
And then
I'm just looking this up right now as we speak.
She sang at the funeral too, the Come Unto Jesus song, and she's singing, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like her.
Okay.
Like, I saw this girl like sing live, and it's that girl right there.
Okay.
And she's married to like, and his like, it was the most beautiful like song I've ever heard at a funeral. He sang like, a breath is not too far from where you are, and it was majestic. He had no sheet music. He like put down like the thing where you hold your sheet music, and he just started playing, and then he started singing, and I was like,
and you recorded it.
oh yeah, I like put my phone on record.
Okay, so it wasn't the funeral you recorded.
No.
It was that.
Okay.
I thought you were recording like
that's a lot.
I thought you were
Sounded
recording like the
Recording
open
the
casket session.
No. There
That would've
was
been so
an
funny.
open casket, and my mom made me go in and see him.
Was he hot?
No, this singer was not the person in the casket. Oh my
it was-
gosh.
Like, my mom, I don't know why, but my mom was like, at my funeral, like, she wants her casket to be open. I was like, nobody's gonna want to look at you.
Oh,
You're
savage.
You're decayed.
Well, no. Hopefully you're not decayed. I mean, they do things to stop that process. And there's some people that haven't seen you in a long time, so they might like to
my
see
mom
you.
kissed the guy's forehead, I think.
Okay, touching them is kind of weird. But like,
she's like, I said goodbye, and I was like, okay. You couldn't go. You had to like.
Yeah, but wait until it's. Well, I could see that both ways.
Yeah, you're probably gonna do that to
I
your
can't.
dad.
She was like, Drew, just come see it, and I went and saw it, and I was like,
Okay. Well, you're young. You may change your. That was one of those beautiful scenes in Gladiator. Y'all seen Gladiator yet?
Yes. Wait, number
don't
two?
spoil it. Don't spoil
Wait,
it. Don't
Gladiator
spoil it. I
2?
haven't
I
seen
haven't
it.
seen either.
Wait, let me.
No, they got regular Gladiator on like TBS and stuff like that.
Wait, which
There's
one
only
did-
like 2 scenes you have to take out of Gladiator before it's just fine.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, are you talking about Gladiator 2?
no, the original one, Russell Crowe.
that
I haven't
one's
seen
so
Gladiator
good.
2. Yeah, I haven't seen. Is Gladiator 2 out already, or
Yeah.
it's coming out?
It came out with Wicked.
But the new
Oh.
actor for the guy, he's not in it because the
old actor, yeah,
because
Russell
he got
Crowe.
way too fat.
Oh, jeez.
Well, there might be another reason too, and I think I know what happens in the movie, but I haven't seen it, so don't spoil it for me, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Okay, cool.
I've never actually seen. It's on my watch list.
you know whose
Gladiator.
testimony is also like, it's kind of sweet, but it's also like, oh my gosh, is the one lady in our ward who speaks Spanish, and then or
Pablo has to get up and translate.
or when you just have like.
Oh, by the way, he might be getting tired of the job, or may not be able to do it all the time because they just sent a bolo out on the ward social media saying, "Are there any other translators?" And they asked me if I could translate.
I just like, for non-English speakers in an English-speaking ward.
I wish they would integrate them all, because I got to tell you, when you have to translate and you have to distill the gospel down to the basics that can be translated easily, it becomes a beautiful thing. I went to church in Brussels, Belgium. When you fly into Europe, you either usually go through London, you go through Paris, or you go through Brussels. Those are 2 of the big hubs, or 3 of the big hubs when you fly into Europe. And I had a layover for a time on a Sunday, enough that I could go to the local congregation. I went there. Coolest thing. When you walk in there, they ask you what language you speak, and they actually have like docents at the door, and they hand you a translation mechanism.
Yes, they did that at state conference, because
Yeah.
I saw like the missionaries, because a lot of people were like sitting around, because we kind of got there a little late, so people were coming and sitting around us, and the missionaries were speaking Spanish to certain people and like would give them headphones, and then some were playing a little loud so I could hear. That's so cool. We should do that, because this poor lady probably has no idea what anybody's saying on a normal sacrament basis.
Or maybe she prefers to come to this ward, but when bearing her testimony, she prefers to do it in her mother tongue. Because like when I went in Brussels, you would get one brother that got up, and he was like an American executive that was working at the embassy or was working for the UN. And he'd say, okay, we're going to sing hymn number 552 now. Everybody turn to your hymn books and we'll sing. Boom. So they would sing, if I remember correctly, they would sing all of the hymns in like French. or whatever the chosen language was, because there they speak like it's like 3 different languages, are all national languages that are spoken there. And there were so many immigrants. They had like all kinds of African immigrants that spoke, I think it was the African immigrants spoke French, and then I don't know if it's like Belgish, what the language is in Belgian. I'll have to look it up. I'm an idiot right
Dutch?
now. But yeah, there we are. Dutch. No, that's Netherlands. But anyway, at the end of the day, I think it's French, German, and some of the language. They were speaking 3 different languages. And what was so cool is you would get one person come up and they'd bear their testimony in French, and that was their first language. And then 2/3 of the congregation would be listening to the translators in French to English. Then somebody would get up and speak in English, and they give a talk in English. And then the other 2/3 of the congregation would have English translated into German and into French for them. And then some German speaking guy that worked for, I don't know, the United Nations would get up, or was, the executive to the ambassador, or the Black and Decker guy in Belgium. Yeah. It was one of the coolest experiences ever, was going to church in Brussels, Belgium. Robust ward, totally awesome. Shout out to the Brussels, Belgium ward. So translation is pretty rad. And this is crazy. I was in Germany when Uchtdorf walked in for a state conference. Yeah, it was a surprise. He walked in, and so they asked him to get up and, bear his testimony and talk for a little bit and whatnot.
Did he do it in German?
Yeah, he did it in German.
Wait.
And they had to translate for me into English. So I had the missionaries translating what he was saying into my little headphones, and you hear like Uchtdorf getting up there, just like sounding like an absolute tank commander from all the video games. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so are these mechanisms? Is there like somebody typing or like talking like live feed into them, or is it just like super high tech where it just like takes in like the language and then it translates?
It was the missionary. So what they do is those gizmos they give you, they're just microphones where you put in an earpiece. Yeah. And in one ear you're hearing what they're saying in the earpiece, then in one ear you're hearing the speaker. And so when he gets up, the speaker may say, for example, "Hello, brothers and sisters. My name is Sophia Langston," or whatever. And then all of a sudden in your ear you'll hear like
¿Cómo está?
Hola, damas y caballeros, yo me llamo Sophia Langston. And you'll actually hear it in your ear, the language that they're trying to translate.
Do you speak Spanish?
And so, I lived in Argentina for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And it shouldn't be damas y caballeros. That actually means ladies and gentlemen. It should be hermanos y hermanas, which is brothers and sisters. Yeah, exactly. So, all of a sudden you just start listening to the talk in one ear as they're talking, and then you start figuring out, okay, everybody started laughing after this joke, and then, okay, I hear it coming. Oh, that was pretty funny. It's pretty cool. If you've never done it yet, I think we should all do it.
I think it's just like
Skibbity toilet.
Like
you just had to throw that in there, didn't you?
Yeah, I just
dude, they added Skibbity Toilet to Fortnite.
Yeah, they added Skibbity Toilet.
They
Wait, Cardin, do you know what Skibbity Toilet is?
Yeah. Come on, how do I not know what that is?
Do you know what it looks like though?
Yeah, the dude with the head popping out of the toilet.
Yeah,
right?
but do you know about the cameraman?
What's the cameraman?
Plungerman?
No, I don't know what the cameraman. Okay, I'll look at it. Is that like Skibbity Toilet 14? I've watched Skibbity Toilet 1 through 7. They're up to like 20 now, right?
They're way ahead of 20.
Okay.
Like way.
Well, so we said what the worst testimonies were, and Drew said what her best testimony she ever heard was. What about you, Kate?
I did.
Yeah.
What was the best one I ever heard?
At the funeral, the guy that sang, right?
Okay, that was not like a testimony.
That was because like we were talking about recording during like church.
We were talking about and like singing.
Okay.
Back to Uchtdorf. We were in New York.
Yeah, I remember this.
I don't know, like 2018, something like that.
2017, we were in the like it's like I think half the building is like the temple and half the building is a church building.
Yeah, so like we went to church and all of a sudden we sit there. There's Uchtdorf. Just there.
He's just chilling.
I think he gave a talk or something like that.
Really? At what temple?
It was in New York. I think, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was like it was like half a temple and half of it is a church building.
And if I remember,
that was my temple for 18 months. You mean what? You not half laterally?
I don't know what it is.
Top down. Yeah. Okay.
And if I remember correctly, like the congregation was like pretty big. Like, wasn't it pretty big?
I don't know.
I feel like there was
so is he like your favorite now? Do you have a favorite or what?
I I don't.
I love
No.
I like him because he talks about planes a lot, and I want to be a pilot. But my favorite is, it's probably Stevenson.
Really?
Yeah,
Which one's that?
he's like a younger looking guy. He has brownish hair. Well, it's a
Dude,
little
I
bit
gotta
more
admit,
gray
I
now.
don't freaking remember myself.
really
who
like
Stevenson
What?
is.
Jeffrey R.
Gary E.
Holland.
Stevenson.
LDS Apostle
I only know.
Stevenson.
Holland
dude.
is really good.
I think
Oh, this guy, the new guy. Yeah, oh man. Only in the LDS church in the modern day can a dude born in 1955 be the one that we say is the youngest one. But he was called 29th of September 2015. Okay, rock on. You're talking about this cat right here.
Yeah.
Boom.
I think
Gary
the
E.
youngest one is
Stevenson.
Bednar.
no, it's Kieran.
Well, Kieran is the newest called one, but I'm talking about like youngest age wise. I think it's Bednar.
Yeah, I think Bednar is my favorite.
I
love
don't. I
Bednar.
think
Really?
it's Suarez or
Suarez.
Gong would be the youngest.
No, Ulysses Suarez is the newest called.
No.
Oh, you know his
Patrick
first
Kieran.
name and everything. Jeez, wow. Okay, so here's your boy. Stevenson.
young man.
Search who is the youngest apostle.
I think
Who
it's
is
We did this.
Bednar.
Didn't we do this?
Gong looks the youngest, but he's
Ga-
not.
Wait,
Hey,
hold on a
Gary E.
second.
Stevenson has actually got brown hair. He's
Who
like one of
is?
the only ones
I think
with brown hair.
Who is the youngest apostle? So here we are. Okay.
Who's on youngest modern day apostle?
Okay, LDS apostle. Okay. Gotcha right here. Okay. So it looks like Russell M. Nelson is the oldest at 99 years old at the time of writing. He's 100 years old now, if I'm not mistaken. The youngest is Patrick Kieran.
told
Next
you.
is
You were right.
Suarez, who's 1 year.
Yeah, I was-
wait,
I was close.
no. Sorry, no. Suarez is 65 years old. Kieran is 66. You're right.
Oh, let's go.
No,
So-
Kieran was the newest called.
He's the newest call, but he's not necessarily
Yeah.
the youngest.
Kieran, like Miss Kieran.
Yeah, there we go.
Patrick Kieran.
He's the one that gave the
Oh,
talk
oh, so not the
that
Mass.
we're
He's
the
like
Church of
from-
Joy
Okay, so
this
not
past
from that
general
something like that.
conference.
Yeah, wow, dude, you remember all this stuff. Good job. Okay, so we got through the weirdest testimony, the worst testimony. Brittany, what's your worst testimony that you ever heard?
It's probably gonna be the girl.
The wolves?
Girl, yeah, the wolves.
The wolves?
It was an older lady, and she likes to hang out with wolves, like at a rehab center. And she talked about how we're so lucky to be around wolves and how they are just so majestic and spiritual, and they will bow to her, and she bows to them.
That's very, very.
I don't know
interesting.
what was she
Very
talking
weird.
about,
Isn't
but not
that
the ones I'm
like-
thinking of.
She went on for like 20 minutes, dude. We didn't know how to stop her, and she was talking about how the wolves talk to her and like give her
either-
spiritual messages.
it's
I don't
Wait,
want to
was
say
this-
it's like sacrilegious, but it's like
Weird. No, it's a whack job.
What was this? Was this in the sick?
No.
No. Okay, you have to edit it out. Was this in
No.
the old ward?
Yeah, no. It was the old ward
I
when
don't
we
think
lived.
you
So
weren't
not
in our
in-
ward.
It was when we first got married.
Oh,
Yeah, that
okay.
was wild. That was a fun one.
Also in that same ward, another older lady got up and talked about how she's so grateful for marijuana because it's helped her husband in his pain.
Me too.
My friend told me that he was in church one time, and there was a talk about a lady who was saying that she has an obsession with drinking alcohol.
That's one word for an addiction.
I think
An
that
obsession.
that just shows how much they love the church and Jesus and how they're truly going for the Savior.
So, okay. And then, so the last thing is, what was your favorite testimony that you ever heard? We all talked about the weirdest and wildest ones. What's your favorite that you ever heard?
Too many people give.
I've heard too many. Yeah.
I've heard so many.
Would you say on your average testimony meeting, you think on average they're good or on average they're bad?
It depends because sometimes, like, when all the little, like, I remember this one.
Wait, what? What'd you just
Should
do?
I be picking up the pizza right now? I look.
Sorry. Ready?
Okay, good
I'll
job.
never forget this one sacrament meeting.
Oh,
And
was
there was this
wild.
family and they had a lot of kids and they all liked to go up and share. And
oh my gosh, I know exactly
this
what you're
one
talking
kid
about.
that was my age went up and like started This kid claimed to see visions a lot
Yeah,
and a lot of stuff.
He said that one time he was walking home and then he was scared and he saw
Like a dove.
Yeah, a dove.
And he started crying, talking about, it was like, cry. And I was like, we have doves. And I was like, there's like, I don't know. Like, he claimed to see a lot of visions, and I thought it was always funny. But one time his younger brother was getting up to share, and the person next to him in the podium was lowering, and then all of a sudden goes, ow, my hands. And we're like,
My
what?
dad
And he's
was-
like, my hands. And Will's dad had just kept pushing the down button and was and the kid left his hands, so it was smashing his hands.
It was like it was so funny. Like top 10 moments.
Oh, my favorite testimony is when Will was going into Young Men and came up and said how he was so grateful because now he feels like a man. He said, he's like, so recently I was transferred to Deacon's Quorum. He's like, and I'm feeling like really good about it. Like, I feel like a man. Like, I feel really.
I feel like a man.
And it was so funny.
I love when I say talks. It brings me joy.
No, but I'll
Okay.
never forget he would always talk about, I don't know,
Seeing
I was like, there's
visions.
no, like, the dove, was just very far-fetched for me to believe. Like,
Okay.
maybe if it was in the daytime, but he was talking about how he was walking home and, the street lamps shut off.
Oh yeah,
He said that, the street lights shut off and he was on his scooter and how he was really scared and said a prayer, and then all of a sudden this dove came out of...
Does their
I
name
was like,
start with an
Well,
A?
why can't
Yeah.
that be? Come on, man. Why can't that be? That's awesome.
Okay, but the street lights turned off.
It's giving Harry Potter.
Yeah, and he was talking about this as it happened in the recent week, and there was no reporting of power outages.
I choose to believe the guy, and I think he's a spiritual Giga Chad, and that dove was protecting him. That's what I think.
Yeah, come on,
Giga
Drew.
Chad.
Gosh, man.
I'm not saying.
No
I'm just
need
saying
to be a Debbie
the amount
Downer.
of times he claimed to have visions seemed very Joseph Smith level.
Yeah, so maybe he's just Joseph Smith level, and you're down here with all the Debbie Downers. You know?
I just thought I was like, I don't know. I'm not if he had one vision, I'd be like I would believe him. But he apparently had multiple.
I think you got to get his number because he's going to be an apostle someday.
I do have his.
I
number.
guess you're just not spiritual enough.
Yeah,
Should
come
I
on.
be picking up that pizza?
Oh my.
Yeah, let's pick up the pizza.
Oh, okay. I kind of forgot about.
Can't keep quiet when you start a riot.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. We assume if you made it this far that you liked our content. So please make sure that you smash that like button and you share this video with your friends. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please make sure that you subscribe and you press the alert button so you receive alerts on every one of our daily uploads. Now, we want to make sure that we keep all of this content flowing for free to you, the viewer. And to do that, we need your help. If you're a person of means, please consider a direct contribution through Venmo or through Zelle. And the links to those platforms will be in the description as well. Also, if you want to help us out, please make sure you buy some of our merch. We got really cool hats, really cool t-shirts for both boy and girl viewers, all available on WardRadio.com. And while you're there, you can sign up for our Ward Radio newsletter. You can receive all the really great Ward Radio news directly in your inbox simply by putting your email address in WardRadio.com. And finally, if you guys want to help out purchasing some of the equipment in the studio, you can always check out our Amazon wish list that is also available in the description of this video. And either way, whether you're pressing this button here to make sure you're subscribed to our channel, or whether you're watching another video here just because you like our stuff, we look forward to seeing you guys in the next program.